Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla TV, here to talk to you today about Trask Performance Exhaust for the Indian Scout. You should be looking into Trask Performance Exhaust if you want to make your Indian sound a little bit better and perform a little bit better. These things are currently being made for all iterations of the new Scout. Installation on these is going to vary just a little bit. If you're looking at a set of the slip-on mufflers, you're probably at a 1 beard in our BSD, and if you're looking at a full system exhaust, that'll probably bump you into the 2 beard category on our BSD, or beard scale of difficulty. Let's get right into things. So you may or may not be familiar with Trask Performance. I think they're probably best known for some of their forced induction systems. They make some turbos that are absolutely crazy, and they make slow bikes very fast. But Trask has been branching out. They've really been checking out some new markets, and they really have been kind of first in line to make parts for the new Scout. They're not stopping, of course, just at their bread and butter. They're making all sorts of stuff for the Scout, and two of the items we have up here today, their exhaust line, I think really stands out as being a great product for the Scout rider. Now, odds are excellent. If you went out and ran and got yourself an Indian Scout, you're probably a performance-minded rider. You like to go fast, and I'm guessing you probably get out there and tear that thing up like it's a sport bike. These bikes are sleepers. They're really quick. Now, you don't want to just leave it stock. You want to throw a little bit of aggressive growl in this thing and make people aware of that the Scout is no joke. So, you might want to start with this set of Trask Performance mufflers. Now, these are super short, as you can see. They're very open mufflers. These are a straight ahead, no bullshit design. What these are going to do is let exhaust gas get out of your bike. That's really what these are designed to do, and they do a great job of it. The other huge benefit you're going to get with a set of Trask slip-on mufflers is the weight reduction. Factory mufflers on an Indian Scout ring in at over 24 pounds. Together, this package weighs 5. You're dumping 19 pounds right off your bike, in addition to getting that increased exhaust flow. Keep in mind, too, these aren't catalyzed as well. Like I said, you have that straight through design. It really does open up the bike. Now, in addition to helping you make some power by having that straight through design and dropping off all that weight, that's not even the beauty of the Trask mufflers. I think everybody buys an exhaust primarily for the sound, and boy, Trask absolutely delivers on here. Give a listen to these things. It would be hard to communicate to you via computer exactly how loud these things are. We had record turnout when we installed these on our Scout. We had like a dozen people running outside to see what in God's name was making all that racket. These things make the Scout sound positively aggressive. If you're looking for something mild, something muted, walk right past the Trask exhaust. It's not for you. This could be one of the loudest exhausts we've ever installed on a motorcycle. It sounded absolutely unholy. So if you're knowing that you're the type of rider who's going to add a little bit more in terms of performance, you're not content to just bolt some stuff on, you might want to consider a full system exhaust from Trask. Now, Trask kept that high and tight design. This muffler and pipe combo sits up nice and high. So if you're throwing your bike into the corners, this thing is not going to be grinding. You're not going to be this is not going to be in the way. It's tucked up out of the way, safe and secure. So keep in mind here, Trask has made, again, a straight ahead exhaust. They didn't go crazy funky on this. This employs some very classic techniques. Let me show you what they did when they made this thing. So you'll notice firstly here some stepped head pipes. At each one of these junctures, the pipe expands just a little bit. What that allows the exhaust gas to do is it's ripping through the pipe here. As it hits each juncture where the pipe flares out, the exhaust gas expands to fill that space. It keeps the velocity up and keeps the exhaust moving through the pipe. One of the other things you're going to notice too, 2-into-1 design. Classic race setup. The reason 2-in-1 pipes work well is they help, each cylinder winds up helping the other cylinder do its job. As one exhaust charge is coming out of one cylinder, it's actually helping to vacuum in some air and fuel on the other side. It helps build horsepower. These are classic techniques. And you'll notice again, this short, super high flow muffler on here, going to make a great sound as well as make some great power. You can also see here too, there are some full heat shields on here. They look great. Spin flanges are already installed. The only downer I would say to the Trask Performance exhaust, they include everything you need for this job. The only thing you're missing is a set of gaskets. Be sure to pick some up before you install your exhaust. Now when it comes to installation, I had mentioned you're somewhere between a 1 and a 2 beard. If you're rocking a set of mufflers, looking at a 1 bearder, most of you should be able to knock this out with basic hand tools, 30 minutes in the garage, and you should be out enjoying the sound of your new exhaust. It's not really that difficult. You're going to unbolt your old exhaust, bolt the new stuff up. It's a very straight ahead installation. Now if you move into a full system, I'm going to say this is probably going to be a 2-beard installation. The actual installation gets slightly more difficult. You've got that regasketing we talked about to deal with. There's also the transfer of your oxygen sensor. silencers. Keep in mind too, you're also going to have to install the heat shields. None of this is very difficult. The only reason I'm going to push this into that two-beard category is because this thing flows so well, you're going to have to add some fuel in to help your bike perform its best. You don't want your bike running lean. So the addition of a fuel controller is going to bump up both the cost and the complexity just a little bit. Most of you should be able to retune very easily depending on what fuel tuner you run with. You should just recognize it's going to add time onto the job. You're going to have to do a little bit of testing and tuning. I really love what Trask has done with his exhaust. This stuff sits high, it sits tight, it's super loud, and it's great at making horsepower. This is my kind of exhaust. Keep in mind though, my opinion is not the only game in town. Click that info button, educate yourself a little bit about some of the Trask exhaust products, see what some other riders who are rocking Trask stuff on their bike have to say about it. If you've got a fitment snafu or you need some installation help, don't be afraid to get in touch with us. You can get a Gear Geek via email, cs@revzilla.com, or you can always give us a call on the phone, 877-792-9455. I'm Lemmy, I'm out of here.